Embodied Souls, an essential subject from Vinipedia. The embodied soul lives in the city of Nine Gates. The activities of the body, or the figurative city of body, are conducted automatically by its particular modes of nature. The soul, although subjecting himself to the conditions of the body, can be beyond those conditions if he so desires. Owing only to forgetfulness of his superior nature, he identifies with the material body, and therefore suffers. By Krishna consciousness, he can revive his real position and thus come out of his embodiment. Srila Prabhupada's books, lectures, conversations and letters offer a comprehensive presentation of this essential subject as seen in the Vinicote's Embodied Souls category. An introduction from his books is given below in the following 8 quotes. Quotes from Srila Prabhupada's books. As stated before, Vaisadeva is a liberated soul, and he compiled this book of authority after attaining spiritual perfection. Since the complete whole, or the absolute truth, is the source of everything, nothing is independent of him. In one sense, everything that exists is the body of the absolute truth. Any action or reaction of a part of a body becomes a cognizable fact to the embodied soul. Similarly, since the creation is the body of the absolute truth, then everything in the creation is known to the absolute, both directly and indirectly. Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, Chapter 23. Since the complete whole, or the absolute truth, is the source of everything, nothing is independent of him. In one sense, everything that exists is the body of the absolute truth. Any action or reaction of a part of a body becomes a cognizable fact to the embodied soul. Similarly, since the creation is the body of the absolute truth, then everything in the creation is known to the absolute, both directly and indirectly. Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, Chapter 23. As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body, from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. The self-realized soul is not bewildered by such a change. Such verses from the Bhagavad Gita or any other Vedic literature give valuable instructions on the occasion of someone's passing away. By discussing such instructions from the Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam, a sober man can certainly understand that the soul never dies but rather passes from one body to another. Chaitanya Ta, DLL 16.23, being in a bewildered condition, therefore, the embodied soul identifies himself with the circumstantial material body and becomes subjected to the temporary misery and happiness of life. The Lord is the constant companion of the living entity as Paramtm, or the Supersoul, and therefore he can understand the desires of the individual soul, as one can smell the flavor of a flower by being near it. Desire is a subtle form of conditioning for the living entity. The Lord fulfills his desire as he deserves. Man proposes and God disposes. Bhagavad Gita 5.15. O Providence, you have no mercy. You bring embodied souls together through friendship and affection, but before their desires are fulfilled, you separate them. Your activities are like the foolish pranks of children. Chaitanya Ta, Antya LL 19.45. My Lord and Sihadeva, O Supreme, because of a bodily conception of life, embodied souls neglected and not cared for by you cannot do anything for their betterment. Whatever remedies they accept, although perhaps temporarily beneficial, are certainly impermanent. For example, a father and mother cannot protect their child, a physician and medicine cannot relieve a suffering patient, and a boat on the ocean cannot protect a drowning man. Bhagavatam 7.9. 19. The embodied soul, by his immemorial desire to avoid Krishna consciousness, causes his own bewilderment. Consequently, although he is constitutionally eternal, blissful and cognizant, due to the littleness of his existence he forgets his constitutional position of service to the Lord and is thus entrapped by nescience. And, under the spell of ignorance, the living entity claims that the Lord is responsible for his conditional existence. Bhagavad Gita 5.15. The human form of life is called Arthata because the body can very nicely help the embodied soul to achieve the highest perfection. Praldama Arya said that even though temporary, the body can give us the highest perfectional achievement. In the process of evolution from the lower to the higher grade of living, the human form of life is a great boon. But MY is so strong that in spite of achieving this great boon of the human form of life, we are influenced by temporary material happiness and we forget our goal of life. Bhagavatam 7.4. 44.